Okay, what you're looking at here is CDI 133-4804, and it's for a 1993 Evinrude 60 horsepower, and it's TE60 TLETD. That's the model number. And we got something going on in the ignition system, so we need to check these and see, which I've already done this. And I've ordered a new one, and you can see the new one sitting right here. And but I thought I'd show you some things, because we got our CDI troubleshooting guide, and then we got our meter sitting over here. Maybe I can prop it up a little better, and you can hopefully see it. We can turn it on. Got a couple of little jumper cables somewhere, or I don't know what I did with that. Just figures turn on the camera, and then you're like, well, what did I do with them? Oh, they're laying down here. So on the old one, if you're looking at the troubleshooting guide, one of the things you can do is you take white, okay, and you put it on your red lead. It tells you this in the troubleshooting guide. This is a trigger or a tire base for one that I believe they call it looper mode. And I've got a little light over here. Maybe it'll shine out. I don't know. We could try something like that. But down in there, you're going to take your other lead and you're going to put this thing on a mega ohm scale. And you're going to test for like white to blue, white to purple, white to black and white, white to green. And you'll know if you got a bad trigger or tire base. So we can see we got nothing, no continuity, no kind of resistance. Same thing there. If we can get to the other side in here, like I said, I don't even know if you guys can see it, but there is something on the white to white and black. And that one is supposed to be between 400 and 500 ohms. So we can lower our own reading and we can go over, and I will find that this one does have about the right, it's 444. So right in the range between 400 and 500 ohms. However, we have nothing on our mega scale. And if we go to any of the other leads and we just check, like I do have, but it's bouncing around, mega ohms on one that is really. So how do you know if it's good? Well, we know we got a good known trigger that I just bought. To prove it, because that's what our guide tells us. We're going to take our lead to the new timer base, trigger, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be that center one. So you got 3 and you got 2, and usually the white is that center. And then we're going to just go and touch each one of the leads. And so like there's, make sure we're not connected right. Okay, now we're connected. Let's start on this side. So this one we can see that we got about 4.45 mega ohms. And then we go to the other side of that, you'll see again, we're somewhere in that same range. Maybe a little higher, because it reads up. Because again, that one's, it keeps coming loose. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to go in this way. There we go. So yeah, there's our next one, about 4 mega ohms or so. 5 mega ohms per so. 4 or 5 mega ohms. So the only one that's going to read less is going to be your white to black and white. So we'll put this on like our 200 ohm scale, and you'll get, or not like now it's on continuity. So, but we should see, may have to go to 2K on your meter. Yeah, see a 0.443. So that's how you tell if you got a bad timer base or trigger. So now we're going to put the new one on. It does say in the troubleshooting guide that a bad timer base can take out a power pack, or a bad power pack can take out a timer base. So remember that. Most likely, it's going to be that you have a bad power pack. It's probably going to fail before this. This is just windings around a piece of like iron ore or whatever. And if you look on the inside of this deal, I mean, you can see it. You can see the magnets. Get all this out of the way. And but our CDI one, which is made in America, and we are a distributor for them. So, yeah. Anyway, bad timer base. The only thing we need to do is we need to pop out this little plastic sort of grommet. So I got this one started, and essentially, now that you can see I got it started, just take a screwdriver, popped it back. Just take a screwdriver, try to pry it in without damaging it, because you will need this. Come on. They're easier to get on than they are to get off, I assure you that. And I got another screwdriver over here too. Anyway, this is kind of what you got to do. You got to do some more frustrating crap. I get a little pick or something. See if I can, I don't know if I can do it with, probably, with the camera on it makes it even harder. But there you go. Get her started, and then just work your way around. If you have to, just push it out. It'll kind of push its way out, I think. Maybe use this one. But yeah, there we go. Now that's out. And then the next thing that you want to do is you're going to take this off. So we're going to flip these upside down so that they're identical. And if you'll notice, we got this little screwdriver deal. And that's going to go on our new timer base. So you saw how we had that. We had it like this. So you want that to go right here. It should. Yeah, they put their little piece right through where we need to go. I don't know why they did that. Well, I think this is in the wrong location. We can always fix that. Well, sorry, folks. Huh. Man, this was like, how was it? Pretty sure that was like that, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape. Move this out of our way, I guess. Try not to damage it. Huh. Very strange. Should go like this. And then usually that's where you do that. Alright, so we're repairing one. Alright, we got her on there. So what I did was just took the screw kind of through that and made it, since it's plastic, since they didn't have it tapped, once you put the screw in there, it kind of taps it. And then I just ride the wire so it'd come over here, and then I just put a tie wrap. Anyway, this is ready to go on. Okay, I got it all back on there. One of the things that I'm going to do is make sure this trigger moves nice and easy before I put the flywheel on it. So anyway, that's moving nice and pretty like. So I got the wires just kind of sort of routed, but not really. Yeah, because we're gonna have to go back through and check all that, but flywheel's ready to go back on. I like to take, I already had this off before, but I can't stress this enough. I'll take a little bit of this anti-seize and I'll just put it on the inside, because it could be me that's doing it again. You don't have to have a lot, just a little dab will do you. And we'll put this on and make sure it's not rubbing our flywheel. And this dude is just stuck up. You know, that's another thing. Probably got ahead of myself. It really is. Huh. Oh man, a weird starter issue. Just get a little brass hammer first before I do anything. Well, I'm sorry, I thought I was going to show you guys all this, but we got a starter that's just engaged up, so the Bendix maybe, yeah, see? So why was it catching? Not sure. This thing, if anything, you could put a little bit of grease like right here, which I will do. Probably the anti-seize will work too. Okay, so sometimes when them starters are doing that, what you want to do is just get you a little grease. Yeah, because you're not supposed to grease these, but you can grease like here. Just not like up here. Just make sure like this bearing is nice and free. And then, you know, if you can, work your Bendix up and down. Make sure it falls. See, that spring gets funky, I think. But there's not enough force to force it down. So just get some grease in there, good. You know, a bit of grease. But make sure you just put it in here. And then wipe off any excess with like a paper towel. So I'm trying to try to do better, because I learned, you know, lots of stuff from Tatro Machine. And he's on YouTube, and he's a Harley guy. But man, a lot of what he does and talks about, you know, pertains to this stuff too. And he's kind of a cleansly, how do I say it, a cleansy nut. Like he likes to keep things clean, and I can understand and appreciate that. Sometimes you just want to cut corners, but now we can see that's just, that Bendix is falling down like it should. A lot of times that happens, I think, because you got a weak battery, but also like, you know, those not being maintained. Anyway, you get the idea. Then we're just gonna throw our flywheel on. I want to find out where our key is, which is over this way. Now I didn't take the timing pointer off, so I'm gonna have to kind of go underneath the timing pointer a little bit, just so we don't bend it. Or you can go right in between a and we're on there. Just be careful of your timing pointer, because it'll give you a problem. It'll give you issues. Got our nut, there's no washer. And I didn't see any in the diagrams either. It is like a lock brass nut, 34 millimeter. So I got a 34 right here. It's a pretty big socket. I got on my impact gun, which is about, and that's literally tight enough. So now we can just kind of rotate this around and make sure nothing's touching. Yeah. All right, and then make sure our trigger moves. So we got a new power pack, and we're gonna throw that on here. And we got a new rectifier coming from CDI, so I'll throw that on. Again, CDI, American made. And then we'll just have to figure out anyway, it's not that hard. It's pretty simple. It's, you know, CDI 1134808. Basically what you have to know about this one is that this yellow-red stripe wire goes over to our solenoid. So when we send a signal to the solenoid to start the engine, what I believe happens, and I could ask CDI about this, but it puts it into a warm-up mode, or slow mode they call it. Goes out and it gets the temperature of the engine, and at a certain point it shuts that off. And these are our 3 wires for our plugs, and this is our 2 connections that go to our stator and trigger. So this would be our timer base, and this is to our stator. The only thing on my end, I believe, on the harness, wherever that is, to find it, is plugging up our kill wire. There's some engineer somewhere that in my book is kind of a, excuse the language, kind of a dick, because we got to screw this bolt down here like this, and you can't take the chaps off this engine here to get to it. So you just got to sit here and think about your existence and turn this bolt until it finally is tight. Kind of wonder why. It's like he's grinning. He's going, yeah, I know. I made that one really hard on purpose, because someday I knew you were going to do a video, and then you're going to go, man, that is whacked out. So yeah, it's not just Mercury doing this. This is Johnson Evinrude doing this. BRP, whatever you want to call them. Now I just got to look at a wiring diagram and figure out which one of these goes to which one of these coils. Which I got a wiring diagram somewhere. Hopefully it's right. Of course this one doesn't say, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So orange, purple. So they're saying is our number 1. So I'm just kind of looking at my wiring routing here. See if I can't route it some way, halfway makes sense. Goes like, maybe like that. And I mean, you could do some dielectric grease if you're like in that salt water deal, but I don't think I need it. Get on there. Maybe you can see what I've did. All right. Number 2. I don't understand. Orange, purple. They got OP. See, that's just figures. Now I'm gonna have to go and verify what goes to what, because this ain't right. This is O/PU, O/PU, O/GN. That just figures. Well, I just took them off because I didn't, so we don't really know. It's pretty far. Alright, well, something else I gotta verify. It's not gonna go like that. So you see they got different links. But which one is what? 1, 2, 3? I bet. We're gonna take a guess. Say 1, 2, 3. We're taking a guess here, folks. We're saying that's 2. The worst we gotta do is just figure out where they're triggering. But this has gotta be it. It has to be. Anyway, I'll tie wrap them, get them out of the way, whatever. So I don't like that, but maybe move it out of the way, you know, so you can get your thing on them. Like I said, I don't know if that's correct or not. That's sort of the other thing is too is Johnson Evinrude, they put this all wacky. I mean, I get it, but man, come on. Now you got to take this off in order to get your 2 bolts in. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're winning here, folks. Well, we got it on there, but it is a major pain in the who's cow. So for now, just kind of getting in the ballpark till I get ready to get my voltage regulator, and then we can go from there, I guess. So for now, I'm gonna put the lid back on it and call this a day. bye.